Hey guys, it's FRTA here. There's screw holes to hold this in place. It helps to read the manual before installing stuff. Wouldn't you agree? So that's a dumb mistake I did. This is the first time I've installed a lighting kit in an Amfleet car. So I'm actually just learning this myself. So yeah, basically you just screw it in and it's supposed to work. So I'm hoping that's the case. Anyway, we're gonna give it a try. I know how to put the body back in. Slip it in like that. And I'm going to get a screwdriver. And I have scissors around here. I think that would be my Skype going off. Sorry about this. So basically you just put the screws in. There's 6 screw holes, and you just put them in. Okay, that's pretty much straightforward what you have to do. I'm going to end the video here, this portion of it, and then we'll come back when I'm ready to reattach the Amfleet, the shell onto the body. Hello guys, SFRTA here. I'm going to put the shell back in. And then we're going to see if it works. The lighting kit. Before I do that, I'm going to wipe my hands off because I got solder flux on. You don't really have to, I found out, you don't really have to, nor should you, solder the lighting kit onto the contacts. It just does not work. I've done solder jobs before, but couldn't get this done. So we're not using solder. I removed most of the solder off of the car, off of the contact point. So now I'm putting the car back into place. As you can see, it's a pain in the butt to do. Okay, so now I'm using a little screwdriver to Okay guys, I have some very good news. What I did worked, and the car is now lit up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the lights off. So now, this car is a newly lit coach car. So all you do have to do for the cars is first, number one, you have to manage to get the body off. Then you just gotta screw in the lighting kit to the roof of the car. You have to take the shell off, obviously, and you have to screw that into the holes they made on the top of the cars. And you gotta screw them in tightly so there's a secure connection. And you just put it right in and it should work fine. And that's the case with this car that I just did. So that's a job well done for me. So I'm going to put this in the completed pile. So up here will be the completed pile. Decal sheet fall. Okay, so I'll have to get that. Okay, so that car is done. So now we have 4 more to go. So right now I'm just going to leave the video running, really. And we'll get another coach car out. So this is SFRTA here again. I actually did some earlier videos. I'm going to delete those. I'm going to tell you what I did earlier. I tried soldering a lighting kit on to the contact points in the car. No, you don't do that. I tried doing it. It does not work. It just will not. It won't work. However, I just did it the way that they want you to do it at Walthers. They have an instruction manual. Please read the manual so you don't screw up the car. Thankfully, I did not screw up the car that I was working on. It's lighted now, it's working, it's fine. I'm going to do it one more time. Make sure it's still working. Yep, this car is yes, the car is lighted and it is working. So that's the end of that for this car. It is done. And what I also eventually will need to do is I need to change the couplers out to longer shank couplers. That is the number, I believe it's number 156. I'm not sure. I have to check the package that the couplers came in. I have to get more. So I'm probably gonna buy like a bulk pack or something when I get the money to do so. But I'm gonna have to put longer shank couplers in all of them. I don't think I'm gonna have to shim. I might, but if I have to, it's very easy to do. I actually showed you a video how to do it. It's very easy to do, and if you guys have any questions regarding model railroading, about how to do things, how to shim a coupler and whatnot, just feel free to type in the chat box in my video, and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions about what you should do. Another good person to go to for those questions is a guy named Amtrak Fanatic. He's really like a brother to me. He's a really close friend of mine. So if you would be ever so kind to please visit his channel. And then also visit Team Amtrak. It's a new YouTube channel that me and him started. I actually know this guy in person. Yeah, just take a look at his YouTube channel and take a look at Team Amtrak. This video, I was thinking about putting it on SFRTA, but I think I'm going to put it on Team Amtrak. Yeah, I'm just going to put it on Team Amtrak. But, like I said, this is something that I needed to do. It's very hard to open these cars up. So, I really felt that I needed to do this video, because I just felt there was a big need for it, so that's why I did it. So, let's get started. So, we have our lighting kit here. And screws are here. I have the screws for the other car here. There's like a little, there's two foam cradles I have here. And I'm not going to put them in quite yet. I want to get the lighting kits done, and then I'll put the screws in for the cars. Unfortunately, you do have to take the couplers out, and they put in a bunch of screws that you have to take out. It's crazy how many screws they put in. Me and Amtrak Fanatic were talking about it on Skype, and I was like, you know, they put so many screws in, and he brought up a very good point. He said, well, wouldn't you rather the car be secured than it not be secured and potentially come apart? And I said, yeah. But in response to that, they didn't really have to put 6 screws to hold the car in. They could have put 4, 2 here, 2 here, and then the coupler screws. That's it. I think they did a little bit of an overkill on the screws. I wish they had the roof removable like they did for their dining cars. The dining car is removable. The roof is removable on the dining car. But they didn't do it on the Amfleets. And they didn't do it on the last run either. I have one car left over from that run. The rest I sold to Amtrak Fanatic, and he has most of my 40th anniversary cars now. But those cars used to be my cars, and they were in the 2014 South Florida Fair. As are the Viewliners, but I'm supposed to get them back for the fair. But I will tell you one thing, he did some work on those cars. He did a pretty good job in decaling. I tell you what, most of you guys don't know Amtrak Fanatic like I do. I tell you what, he's a very awesome person. He's done a lot. He's a good model railroader, and you know, like I said, if you have any questions, you can either go to me or him, because he's pretty up to date on how to do things. And I've actually taught him a few things that he didn't know. He's taught me stuff, and I've taught him stuff. So, but yes, if you have any questions, either go to me or him, because we both are pretty expert at how to do things when it comes to Amtrak equipment. Considering I live in South Florida, am more experienced working on Amfleets, Viewliners, and the Heritage Dining cars, because that's what runs down here. And that's what I model. I model the Silver Meteor. So, I also model Silver Star. I have ran the Silver Star like a few times, as you could probably may have seen on my earlier videos. I've done a video of the Silver Star running during operations. So I have ran the Silver Star. Mostly it is the Meteor, because the Meteor is longer than the Silver Star. Pretty much all the time. Because during the winter time with the Meteor, they'll run more cars on the Meteor. They'll probably have like 6 coaches on, 5-6 coaches. And the Star will still have the 4 coaches, but it'll have 3 Viewliners. So the only way you can really tell the difference is if you have a scanner, or if you know the time schedule. But I have caught on my YouTube channel videos of the Silver Star with 3 Viewliners on, which doesn't happen very often. It only happens during winter time. Oh, don't touch any of the parts here. They're very fragile. In order to get the shell off, you have to use a screwdriver, a very small one. So you use your fingernail, bend it, and then you get in there and you pry it out. Very carefully, obviously. You don't want to go crazy on it. But it's very hard to get out. You might have problems getting it out. And like I said, if you have any questions, if you need help, feel free to ask me any questions. There's a group called Team Amtrak on Skype. We actually, like I said earlier, we have a group named Team Amtrak. That is one of the other reasons why we made Team Amtrak, so people can come on if they're into Amtrak and they have questions about how do I do this, how do I do that. we'd be more than happy to answer your questions on Skype. We don't like this. We don't like to give you our email addresses because it's kind of personal, and we don't want to do that. But if you have Skype, just let me know in the chat box, and I'll give you my Skype information. Though, preferably, Amtrak Fanatic, because he's in charge of it, wants me to give you his contact information so you can get with him because he is head of Team Amtrak. But considering he's on vacation, I'm sure an exception can be made. So temporarily, I guess that makes me in charge of Team Amtrak because I'm the co-founder of Team Amtrak. Because Amtrak Fanatic is on a little bit of a vacation right now. So, yeah. I just removed all the screws except for the couplers, but you got to remove those as well. And then we're going to get into getting the shell off. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why we made Team Amtrak, because if model railroaders have a question, yeah, you can put it in the chat box, and maybe after a while we'll respond. But if you have Skype, add us as a contact, and we're online, we'll answer your question right then and there. That's if you guys have Skype. But it's very easy to get if you don't have it. So now we're going to pry open the shell. I'm going to take my finger. I'm going to spread the shell open. And now we're prying this out, like so. Okay. We're making some progress. After what? 20 minutes? So I'm spreading this part, this side open. Inserting the screw driver. Prying it open. Open. This is very hard to do because it's very stubborn. It doesn't want to open up. Then you can't touch any of the parts and try to open it up that way. It will not work. Okay, got that part out. Now, if you have a problem like that where it's stuck like that, you spread it in the back and you pry that part out. Turn here. Alright, and that's how you do that. I got the shell out. So I take my lighting kit. And remember, there's a certain way this car goes. The window, the door, has to be facing like that when you put it in. Kit like that, and then put the screws in just like I showed you earlier, and that's how you do it. And then like I said, you put the shell in, and it's very hard to do, but if you do it the way I showed you, it should work. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I'm going to end it here since I already showed you how to put it back together, and then obviously you just put the screws back in and whatnot, and that's how you do it. These guys, the long screws, hold the body in. The shorter screws are for the coupler. They hold the coupler in. So, I'm going to end the video here because I don't want to make it too long so it's not boring. Hope you enjoyed the video. SFRTA out.